Hey, good morning, everybody. It's 2026. I hope everybody had a really good and happy New Year. And we're going to kind of move right on into the first safety meeting of quarter one in 2026. So, some of the topics we're going to discuss: hours of service, personal conveyance, the weather. I know it's winter. It's probably been winter for a couple months up there up north already. Some of you guys might be used to it. Pre-trip and post-trip inspections, roadside parking, and seat belts. So hours of service definition by the FMCSA is rules limiting how long commercial drivers can work, including driving and on-duty time, and mandating rest breaks to prevent fatigue and crashes. So our hours of service as a company, our CSA scores, they're over the threshold. So we're allotted 65% by the FMCSA. Our scores are over that, and it's a weird scoring system. Nobody really knows how it works exactly, how it's scored. Even like our top safety guy in the Mississippi Truckers Association couldn't figure it out. Anyway, so it's kind of a funny thing, but anyway, it basically is violations on our hours of service, whether you're going over your 11-hour drive time, whether you're going over your overall 14-hour on duty time. Personal conveyance, we've been hit with that a couple times. We've been hit with using sleeper berth over the weekend instead of being like off duty. That was kind of stupid to me. I think the guy was nitpicking a little bit, but just be careful when you log your hours of service. Make sure you're logging everything. If you're fueling, log fueling. If you're taking your break, log break. Whatever else that comes up, traffic. It could be weather. There's a tab in there that says weather, or a wreck or accident. So just make sure you're logging everything accordingly. Don't give these guys, these DOT officers, any excuse to write you up because of your logs. By the way, so for the next 60 to 90 days, you're probably going to hear hours of service a lot, e-logs a lot, personal conveyance a lot. We need to get those scores down because it affects everybody company-wide. It affects you guys driving down the road, being pulled into weigh stations more often than not. So everybody just needs to pull in the same direction, and so we'll get through this as a team. So key time limits, 11-hour driving limit. So you guys know you can only drive for a maximum of 11 hours after a 10 consecutive hours of off duty. 14-hour duty limit. You cannot drive past the 14th consecutive hour after coming on duty. 30-minute driving break. Everybody knows that's required after 8 cumulative driving hours without a 30-minute interruption. So 60 to 70-hour limit. So drivers cannot drive after 60 hours on duty in 7 consecutive days, or 70 hours in 8 consecutive days. And then 34-hour reset. You probably, some of you guys that I've hired, one of the big questions was, how often can I get home? And we want to get you home every weekend. That's our goal as a company, and you got to take a 34-hour reset anyway. So you might as well spend that time at home with family, friends, doing something that's not work related, kind of blowing off some steam or whatnot. All right, so our CSA scores are too high. DOT, they can go back 6 months on your clocks if they choose to. I think technically they can go back a little farther than that. I don't think any DOT officer, if you get pulled over or you're in a weigh station, will go back 6 months unless they're just being a real a-hole and have it out for you. But my suggestion, just be nice and comply with these guys, and they'll get you through it. You attract more flies with honey, I guess. Anyway, so plan your day, plan your week. So I know a lot of the loads you might get might be, right after you dropped one off, boom, you turn around and have another one. But take a few minutes, plan your time, plan your route. You've got directions that are sent to you how to get to that next destination. But check the weather. Check to see. A lot of these GPSs now tell you traffic and construction zones, all those things that can affect your time. But just try to plan your day, plan your week as best as you can. And I guarantee you spend a few minutes each day or at the beginning of your week to plan your week. You're going to save time out there on the road. So time is money out there. You know that. Log everything properly. That goes back to what I just said, your brakes, fueling. Even if you go through a toll booth, and you don't have to pay anything, which typically you don't, it's already prepaid, just log that. You don't have to pull over and log it, but log it at the end of the day. Just check your time, say it's 12 o'clock, I went through there, and so you can go back and log that. All right, PC. You guys have been doing a lot better using personal conveyance the proper way. And again, I just want to give you the FMCSA's definition, so we're all on the same page. So the movement of a commercial motor vehicle for personal use while the driver is off duty and not working for the carrier. And relieved of all work responsibilities, allowing flexibility for things like commuting or going to lodging, food, even a different truck stop maybe that has parking that you can't find parking, or it's a bad neighborhood or something, you want to get to a safer place, you can use Safe Haven. But it is not furthering the carrier's business, like getting closer to a load or maintenance, and it must be documented as off duty. And so when you are using PC, you can't advance the truck, even though you don't have a load. If you're in Jackson, Mississippi, right, and your next load is being picked up in Memphis, Tennessee, you can't PC from Jackson to Memphis because you don't have a load. Well, you're going to pick up a load, so it is conducting business for the carrier. You're on your way. It's empty miles, and you can't do that. Now, there's, I guess, some gray area in this, and we always tell you we do want you home on the weekend if you're out of time. I'm not encouraging this, but if you're pretty close to home and you're out of time and it's a 34-hour reset, I don't really want you taking your 34-hour reset on the side of the highway. I believe Carter may tell you the same thing. So just before you PC, call us, just ask us. We may give you permission. We may say, hey, we can't do it this time. That goes back to planning your day and planning your week. I know stuff happens out there and you can't help it, but do the best you can. But like I said, hey, you guys have been doing a tremendous job getting it to where it needs to be. All right, so bad weather. I don't think technically we're in winter yet. I don't know the actual first day of winter. I think it might have been yesterday, but up north they have weather that you see in this picture. You're going to drive in that stuff eventually, but things that you can do to combat that or be prepared: you can adjust your speed, lengthen your following distance. You can definitely proceed with caution. Reduce your distractions, food, drinks, cell phone. Obviously, we don't want you using that anyway without being hands-free. Check your weather forecast. See what the weather's going to do before you get out there. Don't wake up and be like, oh my God, it's a blizzard. I had no idea. So prepare yourself for that, and just dress appropriately. I don't like the cold personally, and I hate being cold, but if you have the proper attire on and proper gear, it'll make your day a whole lot better. And all you guys, y'all got some like waterproof insulated gloves for your Christmas gift, this part of your Christmas gift. Those are great. If maybe get a second pair just in case those have a hole in them or whatever. But these are just some things that you can do to kind of prepare for bad weather. All right, so a little fact here. So talking about bad weather and talking about driving proper speeds, leaving a certain distance between you and the next vehicle, more than you normally would. So on average, a semi-truck traveling at 65 miles an hour in good condition takes 525 feet, or 5 to 6 seconds to come to a complete stop. This is roughly equal to the length of 1.5 football fields and 40% more time than the average passenger vehicle. So think about that. 525 feet, a football and a half almost. That's a long distance to cover at 5 to 6 seconds. So guys, eyes up, eyes forward, pay attention, limit your distractions. Also check your weight. That could affect your stopping time as well and distance. And obviously snow and ice, they could cause you to be overweight. So if you got a ton of snow and ice on your truck trailer and you're already pretty close to being overweight, you may want to check it. But if for some reason you get a ticket for being overweight and you think it's because of the snow and ice, first thing you should do, go get a weight ticket right after that officer gives you that violation. That will help us fight that ticket and say that it was inclement weather, it was an act of God, we were out of control of that, and hopefully get that decision reversed. All right, a little humor for you guys. Since I'm doing these now, I'm going to throw in a joke here and there, make these a little bit more fun. What's the difference between a dry van driver and a toilet? A toilet can back up. So I've heard you guys tell me stories at truck stops watching these guys try to back up and whatnot. But you guys are great, man. The flatbed guys, y'all rule the road in my opinion. All right, pre-trip and post-trip. Make sure you're still performing a post-trip inspection even if you did a pre-trip. Post-trip will help identify new issues, leaks, tire wear, any other damage that develop during the day's drive. Both prevent downtime and costs. Both help prevent bad inspections, which we hate. Both are mandatory. We're not saying, hey, can you please do one? We're saying, no, you need to do one, period. Log it, pre-trip and post-trip. And last thing we want to do is go back into your logs and say, he didn't log his post-trip, he didn't log his pre-trip. It doesn't even look like you're doing one. So we know that you're doing one if it's logged. We're kind of on the honor system anyway, but please kind of be conscious of that and do both, please. Make sure you log them in your ELDs. So these are super important, and DOT, if they see this, they probably think, wow, this guy's taking good care of his truck. If they see like a minor violation, they may let you slide and say, well, he did pre-trip, post-trip, he might have missed it. I'll give him a break, give him a warning, or whatever. All right, roadside parking. Some of you guys may know, some may not know, but what to do when you're parked on the roadside, meaning the shoulder of the highway, the shoulder of the on-ramp, exit ramp, the shoulder of any road, really. So first thing you do, immediate hazard lights. Turn on your hazards. Turn the hazards on as soon as it stops. Make a habit of it, man. And I do. I don't park on the roadside ever unless I have an emergency, usually a flat tire, maybe mechanical issues with the car. And it's a habit for me, and I do it probably once every decade. So I'll pull over, I'll hit the hazards, man. And cars are hauling down the highway. They need to be able to at least see that you're parked on the roadside. And I think it's harder to see a flatbed from farther distance because it's not such, it's not tall like a dry van is. Your load may be flat steel, and they might see the top of the truck from a distance or anything like that, but they might not see the very back of the truck. But if they see those flashers, that might help out. Next thing you should do, your warning devices. So it depends on really the type of road you're on. Like if you're parked in a straight path of the road or a curved road or a hill, Google that if you want to and do it the right way. But in a nutshell, you need to place one device at the traffic side about 10 feet from the vehicle. Traffic side being the road. Place another device 100 feet behind the truck in the center of that lane, or your shoulder. And then place a third device in front of the truck in the center of the lane or shoulder. So you're going to have three placed out there. Place first one at 10 feet, then the next at 100, next at 100. That's 220, 210 feet that you're going to have to walk, which isn't that far. And 210 feet back, so what, 420 feet. That's not a very long distance to make sure that you're safe. And one thing that the safety guy at Mississippi Truckers Association told us about this, and I didn't even think about it. He said, at night especially, cars follow tail lights. And I didn't really think about that until after I started driving at night again. After he said that, I said, wow, I'm literally paying attention to the tail lights in front of me. I'm not paying attention to the lines. I'm not looking farther ahead. So if they see tail lights, they're going to follow those. They could run right in the back of you. But if you've got your triangles that are reflective and then you've got your flashers on, it may save somebody's life. All right, seatbelts. Real quick through this. Man, just make sure you're wearing your seatbelt. You have to wear it. It's the law. It's the federal law. It's the state laws. It is Holmes Company's law. And it's avoidable, man, to get a violation for a seatbelt. Plus, if you, God forbid, you're in an accident, it may save your life. So just make sure that you're wearing your seatbelt properly at all times while you're driving. If you get pulled over, do not unbuckle your seatbelt. Okay, wait till that officer gets to your door. I'd say don't even take it off unless you got to get out of the truck or grab something in the truck. Let him see that you're wearing the seatbelt in 3 points, which you see in the picture here. If you're wearing your seatbelt improperly for some reason, please put it on correctly before the officer gets to your door. Okay, so if it's behind your shoulder, I know some of you guys might drive like that and it's a little bit more comfortable, whatever. It's not correct. I wish you would wear it the proper way, but if for some reason you have it that way, before officer gets to your door, correct it, because he's going to hit you like that on the seatbelt violation. All right, guys, that's it, man. I appreciate everything you guys do every day. You have a tough job, and nobody praises you guys enough for what you do. And this time of year, really any time of year for truckers, especially what you guys do, flatbed, it's tough as far as the weather's concerned. It's freezing cold out there in some places, and then you get turned right around, and then you got to do the same thing in the hot summers. But anyway, just remember, like, safety first. If you all need anything, questions, concerns, comments about what you've seen on the video, please reach out to me in the safety department. And the code word for this video is Roll Tide. So text that to me or Brandy or Carter, whoever, and then we'll check your name off the list for watching the video. All right, y'all have a good day. Thanks.